Is there anybody else who would like to come? Please come.
Hello, Werner. Namaskar.
Hello, Ben. Namaskar.
So for a couple of days now, I've been back at my parents' house in France.
Oh.
I'm here on a short visit. My sister is also back from a 10-month trip. So we're back as a family and spending time together, which is beautiful and really nice.
Good.
And since, you're also kind of making a return in let's say a more natal environment. And I also find it interesting to be back here and to interact with my family and sister and to notice how it affects my behavior, because it definitely, awakens some maybe old patterns, for example, or ways of reacting. I'm noticing that. And I was just curious if you would like to share a bit about that whole process, maybe how you've been also experiencing that, and how, if there's some insights on how to, just keep that awareness despite of these old maybe ways being triggered.
In boundaries. How to keep it in boundaries, that it's not overwhelming.
Yeah, not overwhelming, and also I don't know, in some ways I feel that I'm also maybe losing something when I come back here, and maybe some of the old me, which is less aware, is being pulled up, and then I feel there's more disconnection. It's more challenging. But at the same time, then the noticing is stronger, and then it's a stronger calling back. So it's just very interesting.
Yeah. Well, of course, if we have been living in a certain circumstance and then you are away and then you come back, it's bound that the memories come stronger and the patterns are being awakened, how one has been functioning. What can be done is to be double alert. It's very helpful and very important that then in that situation you still continue to have your time where you step out, where you sit in your corner, be by yourself, be as quiet as you can, connect with yourself, connect with the now, and then bring that attitude as good as you can in the interaction with the family, with the circumstances that are very familiar and that have the tendency to trigger things. We are habitual creatures. And if we have been doing things in a certain way, the easiest thing is to repeat it in the same way. And if we come in circumstances where we are very familiar with and where we have been acting in a certain way, then the easiest is to start to act again in the same way.
Yeah.
And if you basically, with certain things, you may let it go and think, okay, it's fine, I can play that role again. And then with certain things, you may think, no, I don't want to act like this again. And if the more you are capable of keeping that awareness of that you that is not affected by it, then the more you can also give the little impulses that the old habit will not push you going left and right if you don't want to go left and right. Reacting to certain confrontations with people in ways that you think, no, I don't want to react like this anymore.
Yeah, I find it interesting. It's almost as if, kind of the need or the desire for connection with a relative. Somehow, the old ways or memory or way of communicating feels like going back to that is a way to connect again with this person. So, but it's not a fresh and new, present way to connect, but somehow it's an easier way, but it's not as real. So it's interesting.
Right, it pulls you out of the present. Then it, in a way, pulls you more in the past, and the role that we have been playing, the memory, the more you're really now, the more it's really new and fresh, and you can connect with that other person even much deeper than you used to connect before, or then you connect when you are slipping in the old role and not really being yourself now. But out of habit, it feels like it's the easiest way to do it, but you're connecting. If you connect with yourself in the now, in that timelessness of the present, then you are also connecting much more with the being of that other person. And actually, it's much more fruitful, because then you're open to that divinity in the other person. As long as we are in the memory, then we have all our ideas. This person, my sister is like this and like that and like this and like that. And if I say this, she reacts like that. But if you connect with yourself, you connect also with her being, and there actually happens a much more profound and much more living connection than being attached to the past way of interacting. For the mind, it looks easier. It's always to go into the habitual thing is like letting you roll downhill. It's whereas to find new ways, it looks like it's going uphill. It needs a little bit of effort, but it's simply because the habit pulls us down in that. The more we neutralize that habit, the less it looks like uphill work. But as long as the habit is strong, it's worth the trouble to take it in account. Okay, it's a bit an effort not to slip into the old patterns. It's an effort to remind yourself to continuously connect. And then actually, the more you connect with yourself, you connect also with the other members of your family in a real way, in a profound way.
And yeah, and hearing this and being aware of that, mechanism somehow. I don't know. I feel I almost have a playfulness now about it, thinking like, oh, it's a bit like a game, and not seeing as an effort, but okay, I can be like that, and I can try to be, just simply more centered in the interaction and see how it goes. And
right. That playful way is the best way. It makes it much more joyous and easier than when we think, oh, I have here a terrible duty to perform, to be myself.
You're right.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, it's good to have a bit of, I think that's the initial, I remember in my first years of discovering spirituality and meditation, tend to have this approach of, I need to stick to my true self, and there's a bit of seriousness, but it's nice now after the years of taking this more lightly and playfully, for sure.
Right. We can be totally sincere and very humorous about it.
Right.
Right. It's not that it's a grave duty that we have to perform. We can very well go about everything with a good dose of humor.
Nice.
And the more you are open to that, the more you see also a humorous aspect in all the situations.
For sure. Yeah.
There's always something fun about it. The very fact seeing how people take themselves so seriously is hilarious.
Yeah.
And you are
Yeah.
being
And
capable of being light about it and not so serious helps also them to let a bit go of that.
yeah, I think you can tell when people see yourself not being so serious about it. They're almost, it's like, wait, something, it triggers something, no, of them being like, oh, what is this?
Could also be like that, huh? And then suddenly it counts. It could also be funny without taking it so serious, huh? Yes. You're helping yourself most and you're helping them most.
Very nice. Thank you, Werner.
You're welcome.
Very nice talking with you.
Wish you a good time in your parents' home.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Take care. Hariom.
Hariom, Hariom.